So this is an interesting development with Birds of Prey, which is one of DC's new movies that is going to be coming out very soon. So it sounds like that this movie might be having a bit of a crisis right now. So we're going to be jumping into that in just a little bit here. Before we do, I just want to give a shout out to Bounding to Comics. Thank you for covering the story. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into this article and see what we have here about Birds of Prey. A new report could spell bad news for Birds of Prey and the new DC Extended Universe. According to We Got This Covered, Warner Bros. Execs are not exactly happy with the movie as it is and may interfere to make changes. Fear is they will have another Justice League situation on their hands where the theatrical cut differs from the director's. Despite this, test audiences have responded positively overall. They are reportedly most impressed with Ewan McGregor as the twisted and nefarious Black Mask. Screen Rant editor Stephen M. Colbert, no known relation to the Late Show host, also ran with the story. He hopes Margot Robbie will step in if the studio goes too far with cuts and reshoots, which there isn't really a whole bunch that she would be able to do in that sort of situation, but, I guess it's worth a shot. So he tweeted, so the audience test screening for Birds of Prey had people raving about it, and the internal Warner Brothers test screening seemingly had the opposite effect. So basically all I needed to be reassured, hopefully Robbie can keep their hands off of it. So this has been an ongoing problem with Warner Brothers where the execs put too much of their fingers into what their filmmakers are doing, and that results in projects that aren't really as good as they could have been. We've seen this ever since The Hobbit came out, and it's been kind of a recurring theme for Warner Brothers with their tentpole franchises. And it seems like this has this is going to be a similar thing for Birds of Prey, where they're going to be messing around with it too much, and then it's going to result in a movie that may not be as good as it could have been. We had this happen with movies like with pretty much most of the DC movies up to this point. That weren't made by Christopher Nolan and all of that type of stuff. So, honestly, this could be also a sign of just, we have reports of the movie being pretty woke and stuff as well, and so that obviously isn't going to be doing any sort of benefit for the movie either. So let's go ahead and see what else they have to say here. When Warner Brothers notoriously intervened on Justice League, they hired Joss Whedon to conduct reshoots and change the story around so it would showcase Steppenwolf and cut down Cyborg's screen time. The DCEU was rebooted thereafter. Thanks to the chilly reception to Batman v Superman to an extent, Suicide Squad into his own test screening for the Warner brass, Zack Snyder was removed and his vision was chipped away at ever since. The fervid fan campaign for the release of the Snyder Cut soon arose. In regards to Birds of Prey, one serious change has already been made. Now Black Mask reportedly is gay, which is in contrast with the comics, which harkens back to me saying that this is going to be a pretty woke movie, and I think that this movie could be pretty woke. I mean, we've just from the teasers for the movie and from this sort of news about Black Mask, it really seems like they're going to be moving into that direction with this movie, which is not good because that is the one thing that DC could be doing that Marvel couldn't be, or could be stepping away from, that Marvel is kind of playing around with, that could give DC an up on Marvel. And there's a really interesting thing, I covered this on my channel recently as well, where it sounds like that we may be getting two versions of DC movies moving forward, where we have one version of DC movies that is going to be kind of more along the lines of the Joker movie that's going to be coming out later this year with Joaquin Phoenix, where it's more of a grounded, realistic type of version of the DCEU, where they're not going to be relying very much on spectacular effects or CGI or any of that type of stuff, but really focusing more on telling almost like real life type of superhero stories and stuff, more grounded and all of that type of stuff, which is something that I'd be way more interested in seeing. Kind of more along the lines of like the Dark Knight movies almost. And then we might be getting one version of the DCU that will feature more of like Wonder Woman, Aquaman, all of those types of heroes where it's more, huge effects and green screen and CGI and all that type of stuff. And if that's the case, that would be an interesting take if we have kind of a branch off between these two types of movies. And if we do end up getting that, then I could definitely see where one version kind of goes more on the woke side and all of that type of stuff, and on the other hand, we get more of like the more grounded, hey, we're just trying to make good movies type of route. And if that's the case, then I'd be interested to see where they go with that. But basically, it just goes to show that the DCEU is still in a mess. They are still in a mess. They don't know what they're doing. Warner Brothers is still getting too involved with their projects, and it's really, really sad to see. Could it be that the Warner Brothers executives are looking at this and trying to make the DCEU more woke? Could it be that the Black Mask thing was a Warner Brothers executive decision where they were like, hey, we have to have a gay actor in the movie or a gay character and stuff, and maybe that's kind of part of that whole thing? Who knows? I am interested to see what more details we get about this movie as it progresses. And as we all know, Warner Brothers also has a new CEO after Kevin Tsuchihara stepped down, and so I'll be interested to see what kind of a role she plays in the DCU moving forward as well. And we also have rumors that J.J. Abrams might be part of the DCEU as well. So yeah, it's a very, very it's just a chaotic mess when it comes to the DCU, which is really sad because there's a lot of potential here. But I'm excited for the Joker, at least. For Joker, I should say. I don't think it's even called the Joker. I think it's just called Joker. So I'm excited for that movie. But for the rest of it, we'll have to wait and see, I guess, as we get more details. So let me know in the comments below, what do you think about this news? What do you think about the DCEU moving forward? What do you think about the whole thing with the Warner Brothers executive stepping in, not happy with Birds of Prey, and making some changes and all of that stuff? So let me know in the comments below what you think, and I will talk to you all very soon in another video. Talk to you later. Bye.
Hey everyone, it's Jeremy from geeksandgamers.com, and if you're a fan of Geeks and Gamers, please go to our website, visit our merchandise store. We have t-shirts, hoodies, hats, beanies, tank tops, and in the very near future, we're going to have many more products for you to choose from. So thank you for the support. We appreciate it. You guys have a great day, and we will talk to you later.